Alrighty, let's do this. Guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Got a little bit of a new scenery here. Hope you like it. But today's topic, I'm going to dive right into how to build a good back. So it's actually quite easy to build a nice back. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Everyone seems to make this much too complicated. So I'm just going to lay it out here for you guys right now. You're going to need your row movements and then either a heavy lat pull down or a pull up. I really don't consider deadlifting a good way to build your back. Yes, it makes you stronger, but the risk to reward ratio, it just doesn't really seem worth it to me in the long run. I used to deadlift basically whenever I felt like it, but I've never ever been on an actual deadlifting strength training program. Maybe I will do that in the future, but for right now, I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing, and I've built a tremendous back, in my opinion, without the use of deadlifting. All right, so starting things off, you're going to need to incorporate a bunch of row movements. Now, there are plenty of row workouts that you can be doing. You can be doing an Iso-Lateral machine row. You can just be doing a straight up dumbbell row with a dumbbell, single arm, going back and forth between the left arm and the right arm. You could be doing a T-bar row, a bent over barbell row, with a supinated grip. There are so many variations of a row movement that you could be doing. I'll tell you what I do right now, and this is on my upper body day. I'll do T-bar row first. I like doing this one first because it pretty much exhausts me, and there's nothing really helping my body to stay stabilized for this movement, whereas compared to something like the Iso-Lateral hammer strength machine that I use, I'm seated in this machine and I'm very stabilized, right? My chest is up against the pad in front of me. I'm sitting down. It's really just my upper back working. And yeah, there's not really much else going on there. And that is why I recommend doing something like that much later in your workout, probably the last row movement you should be doing. So yeah, things like T-bar row, bent over barbell row, where, it's taking a lot out of you. Your body's trying to stabilize the weight. You're trying to keep that nice angle to get the back going so you're not using too much of your traps. Always do those first in your workout and then do the other stuff like maybe low pulley row, okay? The Iso-Lateral one, like I said before. Do those later on in the workout. The next row movement that I do is going to be the low pulley row, and I usually always use either a flat bar or just the basic V-grip bar when I'm doing this. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Pumping Iron with Arnold and all those old school guys from the 70s and 80s when they're stretching way forward. They're basically just lunging their bodies forward, really getting this big stretch and then coming back. I don't really like doing these like that. I like keeping pretty strict form, not super strict, right? I don't want my back to be like super stiff like a board and not moving at all. You guys can see right here in the footage how I'm doing it. It's pretty strict, but there's still some movement. I'm still letting my body kind of help me move this. And of course my legs are bent. I always have my knees bent when I'm doing this. I never do straight. I see some guys doing it straight and I'm like, it just makes me shake my head. I don't know what the hell they're doing. But yeah, I'll do those pretty simple. I'll go about between 7 and 12 rep range. All these workouts are basically 7 to 12 rep range. Sometimes I'll do a very heavy set to start off and I'll really only get like 5, 6 reps, maybe 7. And then after that, I will either drop the weight, do a few more sets, or maybe keep that weight, do another one. That's really only if I can get up to 7 or maybe 8 reps with that weight. If I can only get 5 or 6, then of course I'm going to drop, go for 8 or 9 reps on the next set. Okay, now the Iso-Lateral movement that I talked about, I'll do those after low pulley row, and I either do them together, both arms together, or I'll do them separate. You guys also saw footage before of me doing single arm low pulley row, and I kind of like to switch things up. Sometimes I don't always do the same movement. In place of, double-handed low pulley row, I'll do the single one. Okay, I just like switching things up a little bit sometimes because the same workouts over and over again, they get kind of stale, and I'd recommend you do this too. Don't change the entire workout, okay? Because if you have really good mind-muscle connection on that workout, definitely keep it. Just kind of do another version of it, and that's basically what the single arm version is. It's just another version of the low pulley row. So yeah, I'll finish my row movements on that first upper body day with the Iso-Lateral machine. I'll go pretty heavy on this. First set rep range is like 5 to 8, then judging off of that, either go down, keep the weight. The most important back workout you can be doing for yourself is a pull-up. And I know a lot of guys are not strong enough to do a good set of pull-ups. Maybe they can only do 1, 2, maybe they can't do any. I am well aware that pull-ups are a very challenging workout. Not many guys can do a good set of them. So what I would recommend for you is to either do lat pull-downs or do the pull-up assisted machine. I know every gym has the pull-up assisted machine. Every gym that I've been to at least does. Use that, work your way up, and try to get really good at pull-ups. I started doing pull-ups at a very young age. I started doing them when I was like 13 or 14, and I would just do pull-ups all the time. I had my dad screw in like this little makeshift, I got one of those pull-up bars that you put on, the trim on top of the door, like the door pull-up bars. And I went to go do it, and my dad's like, dude, what the hell are you doing? And he ended up hanging it up in the basement, screwing it up to the beams in the wall. And again, I was doing that at a very young age. I got pretty good at pull-ups. Right now I weigh about 192, and if I have chalk on my grip, I'm not slipping my grip or anything, I can do about like 16 to 18 pull-ups in a row. I used to be able to do quite a few more when I was a little leaner, a little lighter, but those times have passed. And I rarely ever add weight to a belt to do these. I really like doing them body weight. I like working up to a whole number when I do them. So I'll either work up to 50, 60, or 70. I usually never go past 70 pull-ups, but I'll get the first set out of the way. It'll be like 16 or whatever, and then I'll go down from there, because I can never really repeat 16 pull-ups. You can never really repeat the first set. If you can, you're an absolute machine. Pull-ups, definitely the most important back workout. And I mean, you just feel like a beast when you're doing them. You're literally pulling your body weight up as many times as you can. And if you want to add weight, you can definitely add weight. I used to do a 45 hanging from my waist, and I would do about 8 reps maybe. I haven't done weighted pull-ups in a while because the way the gym I go to is set up, it's very hard to get weights, do them right there. Again, the pull-up bar is in like the middle of the gym, right between all these pulley machines, and it's just a madhouse all the time. So I just do body weight as many times as I can. It's the same thing, really. You're still going to failure. I know you don't have the weight on your waist, but you're still going to failure. It's the same thing. And that leads me into the next part of this video. You got to train hard. I know I say this in every video, and I'm going to keep saying it in every video. You have to train hard enough in order to grow your muscles. We're not enhanced here, right? There's a natural bodybuilding channel. If you're watching this, you're most likely natural like I am. You need to train hard. And if you don't know what training hard looks like, just look at these workout clips that I'm putting over in this video. That's what training hard looks like. I also wanted to touch on pull-up grip variations. I do like doing pull-ups with a pretty neutral grip. I don't go chin-up grip. I go regular grip over. Now, if you want to go wider, you can definitely go wider. I've actually found pretty great results doing very wide grip pull-ups. They are a lot harder. Not a lot of guys can do them, but I have found great results doing them. When you're doing any type of pull-up movement for your back, focus on bringing your chest to the bar. We want to retract that scapula as much as possible. I know I haven't really talked about lat pull-downs that much in this, and that's because I really don't ever do them. I really like doing pull-ups. Doing pull-ups is like one of my favorite things to do, especially at the gym. And when I do, sometimes, rarely, do lat pull-downs, I actually like doing them behind the neck. I feel like I get a much better mind-muscle connection in my upper back when I do them that way. And for you OGs that are watching right now, who have been with me since the start, pretty much, you're probably like, what about your basement? What happened to that? Why aren't you working out at the basement anymore? And my family's actually moving. So I had to clear out the whole basement. I had to take down my rack, take down my lat pull down machine, pack it all up, and we will be moving very soon. And what's great about the new place we're getting, it's got a nice garage, and I'm going to build a brand new gym out of it. It's going to be awesome, and I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. So stay tuned for that. It's coming probably in the next couple months. Going to make a whole series out of it. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up the video, guys. I hope you liked it. I know I didn't touch on diet that much in this, but the next video I make is going to be about diet. Complete full guide to diet and building muscle from different starting points, whether you're skinny or whether you're overweight. I'm going to touch on all that in my next video. So again, stay tuned for that. A lot of good things coming. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate you guys. See you in the next one.